Okay, hello Year 5 and 6. So, coming towards the end of our learning journey, and hopefully you are now well underway with your final outcome. So, it may be that you've used what you've written so far, and some of you, I know, have been sending in drafts of your final piece. Some of you have been designing as you go along, you've been creating your final booklet step by step as we go. Either way is fine. You will need to have some room for editing if you would need to make any changes to that, but whichever way you've decided to do that is absolutely fine. So again, we're looking at designing and producing an information booklet explaining how organisms in your local area are grouped. Okay, you're going to be applying your scientific knowledge of classification, and you're also going to be applying your knowledge of your local area to produce a guidebook, an overview of the living organisms that we can find within your local area and how they can be classified. Okay, so looking at what we should have done throughout the week. So your booklet, or however you have produced it, seen lots of different options. Some of them, okay, I've seen some people creating more posters that look like this, so it's not necessarily grouped into the columns like a threefold leaflet, okay, but again we've got the key features of your non-chronological report in all of these. We need headings, subheadings, making it really clear. We need an introduction, which we'll come back to in a moment. So I've also seen some PowerPoints coming through this week, which are amazing. It's up to you what you decide, and the purpose of the next 2 days is to finalize everything that you've got, and by the end of tomorrow have a guide to your local area. Okay, so however you want to do that, and it may be that you've written it all on paper so far, but actually you totally change your mind, you want to create a PowerPoint, or you want to now put that into more of a graphically designed leaflet that you're going to focus on over the next couple of days, and that is all fine. So you should have a front cover really clearly telling us what we should expect from your final outcome. You then had a bit of an overview of classification. What is classification? What is it used? What's the scientific background to that? You looked at that with Mr. Shaw on Monday, as well as an overview of Carl Linnaeus, okay, who created the one of the earliest classification systems that we have been looking at. You then looked at invertebrates and vertebrates, the differences between those, okay? You looked at that with Mrs. Wilson on Tuesday, and also on, as a result of that, hopefully have a section then on invertebrates with some examples, and a section on vertebrates with some examples. I know you looked at some really good examples with Mr. Shaw on Wednesday or yesterday at how you could present some of these things, but you need the same thing. So this is what you did with Mr. Shaw yesterday, looking at these headings, subheadings, okay, and then some information about each of the 5 vertebrates, but you also need a section for each of the 5 key invertebrate groups that I gave you, okay? And it also says in here about the local area. So you should be applying all of this to the local area. Some of the things that you have found within the habitats that you have either researched through the Devon Wildlife Trust, or you've been out during your daily exercise and seen them for yourselves. So it's up to you how you do that. You may want to put a little bit under each section about the local area, or you may want to have a totally separate section at the end about your local area. So today and tomorrow is nothing new. It's about finishing what you haven't yet done. So if you've only done 2 or 3 of the invertebrate sections, you need to finish off the ones that you've not done. So by the end of today's session, you should be sending in on Class Dojo the key pieces of writing for each of those sections. Now, if that's not totally finished, designed, beautifully presented, that's absolutely fine. Today and tomorrow's session are all around getting the information and then presenting it in the way that you feel is best. and that is totally up to you. So I look forward to seeing your writing at the end of the day, and tomorrow's lesson will not be anything new. It will just be a check-in from me to see how you're getting on, see how how the different ways that you've presented them are looking, and that will be all it is tomorrow. Okay, so thank you very much, and I will speak to you tomorrow.